Russian boys qualify over the Mongolians to go to the RMR, which, look, they didn't have such a great time, GR Gaming, once they made it there, but I think this will be a good season for them to push out a little deeper in playoffs if they can, as well as some of the other East Russian guys.
Yeah, they are no longer GR Gaming. I can't remember what they are now called. Anyway, it doesn't really matter, as we're into game, so we can talk a little bit about that another day. Oh, they're called LFO. That makes sense. Anyone's called LFO these days. Anyway, into Anubis. Dooley's out here first, and you've also got Shinobi right behind him. Nice flash through, though. Will allow Attacker to get that refrag. Flash went a little bit too deep there from Shinobi. Mazea was able to get out in front of it and also be able to get himself a bomb plant down. So very well drilled, it seems, TYLOO there. The reaction was swift as soon as that kill came through from NomadS, and the reaction hasn't stopped. TYLOO are pretty much just holding the W key this round, and they're making it work.
Yeah. Scaling too fast for any of NomadS' reactions or planned set plays. Hooligan, though, has always been keeping things competitive and winning a couple of duels that you might not expect him to, especially against a team as sharp as TYLOO, but he's not even really going for the round here. Looks like it's just exits on the cards for this man. Pad the stats a little bit, maybe pad the bank account too, and can perhaps, if they want to force, buy himself Famines next round, considering he's already got the light armor to go with it.
Well, let's have a look and see what the option is for NomadS. Don't know if I really back them in a force environment against TYLOO. They did manage to pick one up last round, but last map, but that was on the T side, not the CT side. Looks like it'll just be pistols for NomadS. A few deagles across the board. Gonna test their aim. Not a bad round to do it in. Couple of Mac 10s, few Galils. It's not the most potent of buys out from TYLOO.
I mean, well, when you get a pick like that, then you can talk positively about it. It is going to take a bit of a number on their economy, though, going forward. Unfortunately, Kirst isn't able to find the same success that Hegs did early on.
Yeah, not even any damage.
Yeah. Felt like he should have at least hit a shot.
Yeah, you know, got a shot or two in there. Make a big difference, but G under a little bit of pressure here. And he's going to call for the assistance from the players from the E-Box. Mosey getting one onto Hanks there. And there's another headshot, this time from a USP. So at the end of Mosey. 3-on-3 now. Damage being done, and a fast flank in E-Box has been, well, you think dealt with, but holy cow, there's a shot from Hooligan, and he seems to be the danger man in rounds like this. That's another great shot, and G, he's got no HP. He can't win this round, surely. Grenade, not quite going to be deep enough. He does get critical. Shinobi also dropping. Hang on a minute here. Oh, he's gone through the molly. Oh, no. How's G won that on 28 HP? But he has. And here we are, 2-0.
Yeah, no one's connected a shot with him. Unfortunate. After all of Hooligan's hard work. That's where the exit on the USP, getting him access to Deagle armor, has actually paid off in spades. A lot of damage done to TYLOO's economy. 4 guns taken away, only a Galil kept over. So the T-side money is very resettable now for NomadS, who go in for the full purchase. Few MP9s to supplement some util early on here. And Jamyung just down to a Tech 9 and armor. G on a Mackie. Not a whole lot of util being used early on for NomadS here. A lot of jiggling happening over towards E-Box. Bridge not feeling particularly threatened. Shut out of A for now is TYLOO. Kirst is here without any help, without much util to stall. So as this A execute comes in, I'm getting a little concerned, but NomadS have at least found the middle of the map.
You still kind of have Jamyung floating around, making sure there's no flank from B. But sooner or later, TYLOO is going to push the go button, and it seems that has now been undertaken. A flash from Kirst. Hooligan again, good for 2. He does seem to be, at least as far as NomadS is concerned, the standout for this game. With TYLOO working their way into A. They have slowed it down, pumped the brakes a little bit, waiting to see if Jam Young's going to spot anything in cams. He doesn't see much. Do still have Critical trying to work his way in through middle, and he'll be slowed down somewhat by Jam Young, but he's actually not interested in going A anymore. It's straight back over to B with some nice quick movement and a good mid-round call. TYLOO absolutely beat NomadS to the punch.
Yeah, I think a little fancy on the footwork as far as I'm concerned. Mersey's a little out of position, so this is kind of like a localized 3-on-2 inside the B side. Very winnable for NomadS, especially with gun advantage and a shot like that.
Well, but they don't have Jam Young, and that's what you have to remember, Pilski. See if you can convert any more than just the one there with the Tech 9. Slowly, NomadS is going to get through that one. It was teetering on the precipice for a second there, but a nice retake. And they will get themselves the first gun round of the map. So maybe we'll get something a little bit more interesting out of Anubis.
There's potential to be so. All of that damage done by Hooligan in the round previous has reared its ugly head, even with the bomb plant. Around 3k for 2 to 3k for 3 of these players. Only G and Mosey are really rich enough to actually purchase something serious into this round, and TYLOO, rather than saving, are going to go the other path of evening up their money, which is spending it all. NomadS with only 2 players surviving, also resettable. Big swing round in round 4 here. TYLOO continuing to want to play this execute heavy style. This time towards the B side.
Well, they haven't tested the B side too much just yet, but now they will. Flashes over the top. Did look pretty good. Critical, though. They just found through that smoke. Does catch Mosey. I think he saw him just as the smoke bloomed. Bomb plan is going to go down nonetheless. And that gives TYLOO a bit of something to work with. 2 AKs, 2 Tech 9s, and a big flank happening in middle from Mercury. So time is of the essence here for TYLOO. Really, they're just trying to buy that time. That's why they've got so many smokes up at the moment. And inevitably, Mercury going to get in around behind Hooligan, and that should be a kill every day of the week. He will execute him. And this is now chaos in the ranks. The fox among the hen house for NomadS as they try to scramble away to safety. It's just going to be Cursed left. And he's not going to be long for this world because he has a flank to deal with. Mercury not sure exactly where he is, assumes he's already out. And that actually is what's going to be able to save Cursed in the end.
Yeah, NomadS missing another reset window. Might I remind you that the last time they did so, it resulted in the game very quickly spiraling out of their control. TYLOO off to the start that they would want on this T side of Anubis, and even upgrading themselves a couple of M4s for good measure.
All right, back to it. TYLOO just going to take this one slow. Know that they've kind of got NomadS on the rope, so they're expecting some funny business, and there is a bit of funny business. Namely, a bit of a B-side stack. Cursed with that M4 has now been spotted and dealt with, so that should be a confidence booster for TYLOO in this round.
Yeah, they're just spreading the map, double mollies into the middle. Should be a progression smoke, and try to split in through cans, but NomadS has already made the first move, pushing straight up the guts through the middle of the map, trying to chase down Jam Young. Attacker sticks around for too long, and he's punished for it. And Jam Young, with a bit of a messy spray, loses his rifle as well. But both of these players so low that both G and Mercury should be able to pick up the pieces here. If NomadS even go for this one, to be honest, you should really consider saving these rifles. But Hooligan's feeling so sharp that even on, what, 4 HP, he's still giving it a crack.
Why not? 28 HP is critical. Is almost enough. It was a little bit of a missed spray initially from G. If there was a quick headshot, might have actually been around for NomadS, but not the end of the world for TYLOO either, as their money is still going to be healthy, given they're on the T side. They're up 4-1, so things are progressing nicely so far.
Yeah, the good news
proper
compared
looking
with
gun
Mirage,
round out for NomadS.
yeah, is that they're consistently doing damage to TYLOO's economy, round in, round out. You know, they're keeping these rounds closed, especially on their low buys. So T-side money is looking a lot more resettable than the first half of Mirage. Missed shot from Hooligan. Not an opportunity you're going to get too many times to find an opening pick. Great flashes. Layered in towards middle. Critical could not see anything for a good 6 seconds. So man disadvantage for NomadS when they had the chance to get a man advantage. And Mose is going to further extend that. Cursed Court completely pants down. And that's going to be the A site open for business. NomadS with no map control, with no space. May even just consider to sit around B and save. But look, they're continuing to donate rifles to TYLOO.
I don't even think TYLOO's necessarily too concerned about things at the moment. They're like, we've kind of won the round. We don't need to plant the bomb. Let's go hunt. That almost seems like the vibe that I get out of that round. 5-1. NomadS are cooked. No money. Well, I mean, they've got some money, but not a lot of money. Not enough money. And they're down pretty drastically. So we are definitely headed in a similar direction to what we saw on Mirage.
Yeah. They've been kind of competitive with the pistols here and there, though, so can only hope for the same. They've invested quite a bit in this one, like full-on pistols and armor, a little bit of util as well. See someone down at $850, you know that they really want to try to give this one a crack. Unfortunately, Hooligan, he's feeling charitable. He's handing away first picks for free. And TYLOO will take full advantage.
Hooligan's very much a live by the sword, die by the sword kind of guy, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, the name says it all, really.
1-for-1 for Jamyoung. Could definitely be worse. And the rest of TYLOO going to work their way in towards B. It'll be a retrievable AK. And again, the Deagle's proving to be perhaps the most potent weapon in the hands of NomadS tonight. G, though, having a look at those players pushing through the smoke, will clean up one. It's a little messy again from TYLOO, but it never really ends up looking like it's going to be a round for NomadS. So 6-1, and we continue to progress.
Another buy through from NomadS, still sticking to the singular AWP. And yeah, it really feels like TYLOO just going through the motions. G's having a field day right now on that T side AWP, punishing players from peeking every which angle, especially out E-box. He's just posted up. Would not recommend that critical. He's going to think better of it. Just drops himself. He still gives it a look in. Man's lost it.
He's lucky G kind of overcorrected. He didn't even need to do anything. He just needed to click, but a little bit of a flick to the left. And so he missed him because he expected a wider swing. So
always expect a wider swing in Asia.
That's true.
It's a safer bet. Full A control here from TYLOO. So that's going to create a little bit of pressure. Not that NomadS is really responding to that right now. They're still just sitting 3 on the B side despite losing all A control and the middle of the map. Someone's going to have to rotate at some point, boys. We can't just sit 3 on B and cross our fingers and our toes, or maybe we can, because that's exactly where TYLOO is heading. And despite all of the pressure on the map, they cannot buy themselves a rotate. This is all making it look like it's going to be mid to A, and they're still running into a 3-stack.
Oh, Hooligan's gone for the repeat there as well. Can you believe it? Mosey down, Critical and Hanks both now spotted out. They're aware that there's going to be 3 players here, but I don't think TYLOO can really do anything about it. It's time for a Mercury round. Got 10 bullets left in this AK. That'll be enough for Hanks. Has to now get the reload, get the bomb, get the plant, and he's only got 26 seconds left. He's got that reload off. Shinobi goes down, and he's not quite going to have enough for the last player. It was a damn good effort from Mercury.
That's just one of those rounds that's so funny to me. Like, I don't know if NomadS is just switched off at this point or demoralized that they're playing TYLOO or just has bad rotates, but you can see TYLOO take all A control off of them, apply immense pressure to middle, and not a single person rotates off B. The whole game plan for TYLOO is applying that pressure and drawing that extra rotate so they can hit a B site with 2 players on it, and NomadS just say, we don't care, bro. I don't care. I'm a B player for life. And it almost works out to win them the round.
I guess at some point you just have to throw caution to the wind and just do something. Hope for the best.
Again, they're kind of giving up middle. Bit more of a 2-1-2 this time. Hooligan looking for that mid player with the AWP if he can find him. TYLOO are getting A control like 10 seconds into the round, and again, G is just on angle holding duty.
Okay. So far, so good for NomadS. My only concern is going to be Jamyoung, when he's given a little bit of space, tends to get up to a bit of trouble. And he has indeed gotten that space in middle. So first of all, this push on maybe long has to go well, but also Jamyoung want to try and keep himself alive. And look at it, Pilski, in front of your eyes. Just look at it. It's disgusting.
Thank God he's not on a terrible Chinese franchise team. And he's playing for TYLOO.
True.
Playing the game he was born to play. Absolute rip of this bloke.
Just won that round. He's just done it. He's just said, that's mine. I'll take it.
It's just like the crosshair placement and the spacing, you know. It looks like perfection. That's like perfect Counter-Strike. The way that he takes those tools.
Mm-hmm. He's got that intuitive sense of how far to peek, when to peek, where to peek.
He's got aura.
He does have aura, bro. Do you know what? This is going to sound bad. I promise this... Should I even say it? I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it knowing how bad it's going to sound. Fucking... All right. There was this guy that was working at the hotel in at Extremes Land, and he was like the spitting image of Jamyoung. And the reason, obviously, that sounds bad is because he was a Chinese guy and I'm a white guy. So let's just get that out of the way. That's not what I mean. But he had like the same glasses. He had like the same haircut and the very same like sort of facial structure. You know how Jamyoung was like this kind of like slim kind of guy. Got like very like, let's say soft features. He looked like him. I was like, this is. I just kept calling him Hotel Jamyoung every time we would see him in the lobby.
And you know that he was the best receptionist at that hotel.
He was the GOAT. He was the GOAT. He looked after my bags. It was awesome.
Yeah, always in the right place at the right time. Delivering time and time again. Hooligan's lucky to be alive. Man's copped a leg. When G was quicker to the draw. Well, once again, Jamyoung getting active. Hand in hand with G. While he's going to go past him, that's actually a nice little util set from NomadS. Pushes G back. Jamyoung ends up in the smoke, untradeable, and they blow it wide open. Excellent.
Can't have it all. G has got back the kill, though. So we're back to the 4-on-4. Once again, it will be a default later round into the B site. Seems like that's where TYLOO want to end. So we get a little bit of util up over the top. That's a nicely timed incend. However, it doesn't look like TYLOO are too concerned about that. They're going to go straight through it into E-Box. It didn't work out for Mercury. Now a smoke at main. Util usage has been pretty good here from NomadS so far, but it's not enough to stop TYLOO from getting into the site. It'll be a safe plant for G. Hanks will drop. And TYLOO look to be winning yet another round.
Yeah, some good pieces of util from NomadS, but not enough at the end of the day, unfortunately. TYLOO just mid-rounds their way out of a bad situation. Another key player steps up. 3K from Mosey this time. And already this is looking like Mirage 2.0, unfortunately. NomadS have got a cool logo, though. We'll give them that.
Like it? A little bit of fire.
Just simple. You know, simple, nothing too much. Like TYLOO, that logo's a bit, like, you're trying a bit too hard, guys.
Whoa, Jamyoung. He's gone straight into Shinobi. A bit of a 1-for-1, 2-for-2 in middle. Probably ends up favoring TYLOO. Bomb has already crossed bridge. They're more or less going to commit to mid now, and seems like NomadS are pretty aware of that. Mosey's going to have to hear those rotations coming in behind him. Hooligan just W key straight up A long. But G's caught in the back. Bomb now. Going to be tough to plant for Attacker. It's a bit chaotic, but luckily you got Mosey there to lock down a kill or two. Now it's into the 1v1. Can Attacker roll back that clock? He's got a flash to play with. He's waiting for critical, and he's got the perfect crosshair placement. 9 and 2. TYLOO are doing it again.
Just can't win around as Nomads. Rough place to be. That's a couple of pushbacks on this game, but just not consistent enough in terms of winning the duels. Got a couple of nice little util plays as well. Gonna need some more time, gonna need some more experience. But ECL's a great place to be developing that. You could definitely get your reps in across this whole format. TYLOO looking for a quick opening pick. Molly Hooligan out of position. He's been getting abused a little bit. And the B site's wide open now that Mosey's found that kill as well.
Everything's kind of feeling a bit wide open right now. A has been left vacant by Cursed.
Can't hold everything. TYLOO just waiting for more mistakes. I mean, Nomads have been kind of misky in some of these rounds. Gone for some pretty big pushes.
G's been loving the line down into E-box.
He's just been holding angles and getting free kills. Just clicking on pixels.
Point and click adventure game. That's pretty much what AWPing is.
Yeah, Bro's playing Monkey Island.
Oy. He's going to have to dance around the back of that molly. Very low on HP here, Mosey, but he's done his job. He's got the info there for Attacker, and will be traded down nicely. Jamyoung wanting to pad some stats, and that's about as clean of a spray transfer as you're going to get. 10-2 is the first half scoreline here for map 2. So, second map, second half. Scoreline looking even a little bit more grim than it was at this point in the first map for NomadS. 10-2 is going to be a tough one to come back from, but if there's any way to do it, it will, of course, be the pistol. They've got themselves a smoke and a molly on Shinobi and Cursed. See what kind of shenanigans they can get up to. First, though, they're going to actually have to get past Mercury here, who's already pushing out into canals.
Yeah, two-man aggression through A as well. Nice little shoulder spot, but that's actually what distracts them from the two-man aggression of Attacker and Mosey, and that's what they should have been a little bit more concerned about. Hank's going to at least trade one back, so things stabilize a little bit as TYLOO maintain that man advantage, and NomadS just opt to try and kick off this A execute.
They're down a molly, because Shinobi would have died with that. So they got the two smokes out, but just a single molly. Still not going to be enough to get them into the site. Hooligan eating a bit of damage there as the plant does go down. It's mission number 1 successful for NomadS. How about number 2 here? TYLOO giving them some degree of respect, not pushing in through those smokes just yet. Mercury being given time around the back, and the USPs are striking, but for the Ts, not for the CTs. G is booked as well, and it is NomadS that win an unlikely pistol.
Yeah, it didn't start well for them. Felt like things were spiraling out of control, but, you know, chaos is where Hooligan seems to thrive. Another 3K for him. Feels like when NomadS are getting anything done in this series, it's usually something to do with him, one way or another. So, T-Pistol, let's be honest, probably not going to win them the map, but it'll make the scoreline look a bit more respectable.
Yep.
That's something to smile about.
Save some of the HLTV rating.
Yeah. Games are on
that's
there
another
now.
thing. Yeah, that's cool. Like that.
Okay. Message to all the players. Let's do the right thing. Make sure it stays that way.
Yeah. Well, G and Attacker. Last one standing, but they won't be for very long. Hooligan, again, doing a bit of stat padding. He's 14 and 11. Not having the worst of times. I mean, 14 and 11 in a 10-4 loss sounds pretty good as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Keeping pace with most of the TYLOO guys. Nothing to be upset about. First gun round for TYLOO, though. Really investing in the head armor. Know that there's a Mac 10 and a Galil in play, so they want to try to abuse that if they can. Deep smoke, trying to disrupt water as well as bridge, but it's NomadS to actually just pull the trigger on a quick A hit. All of these footsteps can be heard by Mosey, though, as he scurries back into the site, dropping a molly for safety.
Yeah, very nicely timed incendiary, but it's not going to be enough to keep him alive. Well, it shouldn't have been, and it did for a moment, but G and Mosey do both inevitably fall. So, NomadS looking a little better here on the T side, honestly. TYLOO might just have to save this round.
And look, this is a recipe for success for NomadS. Just running straight into A, getting a nice little timing, hitting a couple of sharp entries, and look, any team can look dangerous on Anubis if those things are working for them. Kind of was the playbook of a lot of these East Russian teams that used to just play this map every bloody game in the ECL. And on the other end of things, the Mongolian teams that would have to play against them. So I dare say that NomadS have probably learnt a few things from some of their competitors. But with 3 guns taken through, we can get a couple of drops, and this will still be looking like a pretty competitive buy round in round 16 for TYLOO. If they even want to go that route, there's obviously a route where you can just pistol armor and buy down to 2k, and you've got 3.4 loss bonus, so that would be totally fine as well. But TYLOO going to opt for the drop play, and the util's still pretty decent.
Job's not done yet for NomadS. This time some util over to the B side of the map pretty early on in the piece. It hasn't really prompted any change up from TYLOO in terms of that initial setup.
A little bit more disruption across the map from TYLOO this round. Bridge smoke and Evox smoke as well as A main. NomadS forced to buy their time, but they are also throwing some util talk to contest. See Molly's over towards house as well as A main. There was a flash from G to try to set up Jamyoung to go for an opener there, but couldn't really find anything. There's a progression smoke to Evox. As NomadS continue to work the map, continue to apply some pressure. That's a nice flash into Evox, which is not going to catch too much other than two players trying to take advantage of the fact that they didn't get caught by it. That's questionable to say the least from Hanks. And that's even more questionable from Shinobi.
I mean, I think at that point it's kind of a sunk cost fallacy for Shinobi. He's like, well, everything else has just happened. I might as well do this too.
Oh dear. I mean, that's the kind of round that makes you think there's no chance in hell you're beating TYLOO tonight.
Yeah. Definitely. But still got to buy. So it's not over till it's over, Pilsy. You know what? That's what I've always said.
Yep.
Haven't you heard me say that before?
Oh, I've heard you say a lot of things in our almost 8 years of working together or whatever it is.
Okay, actually, low key, do you reckon I might be the player you've not player? I might be the person in the world you've heard the most words from in your entire life. Like, just think about that for a second. Think about how many words we say when we're working together.
You'd be top 5. I think you'd be top 5.
I reckon easily. I reckon we might be number 1 for one another.
Yeah.
Just saying. We've said a lot of words together. That's kind of cute, isn't it?
That is kind of cute, actually. I've got a massive smile on my face.
I bet you do.
Getting the butterflies going. Pretty cool. He is.
Is this Riz chat?
Is this Riz? Is this Riz chat? You've said those words. You are 30. Smoke is outside of E-box now. TYLOO really keeping NomadS at arm's length, and that's where Shinobi, he's crab walking his way through. Pincers at the ready. Looking to snap up some TYLOO players if he can get his hands on them.
I mean, it's not a bad setup for NomadS, though. Like, smoke out for camps. Shinobi is going to go ahead of it.
If they could just stop doing that.
Yeah, there was no teammate there to trade for him. If he would have just slowed down or everyone sped up, it might have been okay. But miscom maybe for NomadS, and it seems like that might be the straw that breaks the camel's back as TYLOO looking to lock this round in. Jamyoung will get that trade from Ozzy. Hooligan, he's going to catch G on that rotate, and he's going to be able to book it over to B. He's got the bomb as well. Hang on a minute. This is a bit of a mess. TYLOO, though, are on A, but the plant's on B.
Yeah, very winnable for Hooligan. Both of these players quite low. Smoke and nade to work with. He's going to know no one's coming from waterside. Here's the footsteps now.
Hooligan, AK in hand. He sees them both. And a nice quick transfer. Will get the round for NomadS. TYLOO just can't finish this game.
Oh, they can't. Just like I heard you couldn't finish your dumplings over in China.
Hang on a minute. I'd already had dinner. Just saying.
Oh, boy. TYLOO. They've got another buy together, but they're starting to run out of cash. That's not NomadS, to be fair. 1,400 loss bonus is not where they want to be. If they lose this round, this game's over.
Mosey. Not going to be able to get that opening kill. Very nearly did, but ends up giving up his life. Now it's on to Attacker. And Mercury behind him. And they are also unable to do a whole lot. So they're putting that pressure on NomadS, but ultimately it's kind of blown up in their face.
Numbers advantage for NomadS now. Going to go back to what worked pretty well for them in the last round, which was the mid pressure. Gave them a lot of options to pivot either side. G's got this A info line, so that's kind of allowing them to lean towards middle and B. As long as he's there. Smoke's being exchanged. Jamyoung headbutting the Molotov. Man's going to be playing for Chelsea FC in no time. Okay.
Nice timing from Hanks. Gets the better of Attacker.
Yeah.
It's probably
honestly, that was kind of low-key sick read. Save?
I think so.
No kit. Yeah, NomadS. They're making it look like this game was closer than it was. Respect. Round diff is counted in ECL, Jordan. So if we go into tiebreaker contingency 14, then this could be huge for them.
Yeah. How many rounds does NomadS
This old chestnut
need to get before you start to believe?
13. No, realistically 12. Is that fair?
Yeah.
That's not
How about
started
that,
well.
though?
Yeah, Hooligan, you know, in for a penny, in for a pound, as they say. It's just like that. It's built like a fridge. Loves to run it down. And I respect it, honestly. But it's not doing NomadS any favors in this round. Unfortunately, for Mosey, Kirst is doing them a lot of favors, because that's a hell of a pick to be pegging back, especially because TYLOO is leaning much more towards B. That's prompting the rotate off of middle from G, bringing attacker back over, and all of a sudden, with the progression smoke, NomadS has got a lot of pressure and more opportunities.
I'm loving it. I'm actually loving it.
Said
Not if I'm a TYLOO fan, but NomadS. Oh, don't be walking into G's angle. I like it, though. Oh, I almost liked it. I felt like the wide swing was going to come, the trade was going to be there, but it wasn't, and now I'm worried. G and Mercury both set up an E-box. This could be a recipe for disaster for NomadS, especially if G is given room to work, which he is.
How is that not a kill?
Low onto Kirst. But this is about as bad as it could possibly be for NomadS. Mercury might die to that molly, but G's just hitting everything, and eventually it's just Kirst left alive who will ultimately fall to the back, and 12-7, TYLOO have pretty much gotten it there now. Unfortunately, NomadS, that small little comeback that they were starting to put together just might not eventuate.
Yeah, money's in a bad state of affairs. Really limiting the amount of util that they can have, which means that these mid shenanigans are going to be a lot harder to pull off for NomadS, as well as the A main taking pressure. Still going to throw some double mollies in towards mid doors, as well as progression smoke to the front side of B, and that's going to pretty much bankrupt them for util.
.43 out the gates. Not a good way to start this round if you are NomadS. Although Hanks is going to try and do what he can to pull it back. It won't quite be enough. Jam Young's in there too. And now it's just Shinobi, who has only a Galil to his name, and he's 9 and 15, so I'm not going to hold my breath.
Gonna creep up E-box. TYLOO giving him everything. Wanting to 100% this round being over, because it's bedtime. Shinobi, though, has an opportunity here, really. It's going to clear out the site. Deep smoke. Open plant. 2 low players. Very doable.
I guess so. Give him the benefit of the doubt. It's not done until it's done. Attacker behind this smoke. Doesn't want to move a muscle. Doesn't want to make a noise lest he gets spammed. But as that time ticks away, TYLOO waiting for that smoke to dissipate. The high-low will be good enough. It was a decent effort from Shinobi. If it was maybe only 2 players and they were split, he might have been able to get it done. But 3 was too many for sure. 13-7 will be the scoreline. And TYLOO have secured themselves both the BO1 wins this evening.
Yeah, and attacker, you know, doing good enough. Putting in his clinic at the office, which